welcome Wargamers to another episode of the Shrine of Chaos. Today, we have Squidmar joining the Shrine. How are you
Hey
today?
everyone, I'm really good. Yeah,
And
that's pretty much it.
you're located in Europe,
Yeah,
uh, Central Europe, North Europe, like where exactly?
very far up north.
Ve-
It's the northern parts of Sweden.
Okay.
So
And your name, Emil?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that's how you pronounce
yeah,
it, or close. Probably butchered it, but like close to that.
yeah.
Uh,
It's I've had worse.
So I'll call you Squidmar because that's how I know you.
Yeah,
And so gonna wait for a few people to just join before I start deep diving into the questions because
yeah.
I have a lot of uh, questions for you regarding your channel, and I'm going to actually we're going to reset this, folks, because there's a Twitch disconnect, and we want the Twitch. Actually, no, Twitch has joined us, right? If you're on Twitch, just type a comment so I can see you, just so I know that you could see us and hear us and all good. Okay, here, all right. So I don't have to do that. So very good. I'm super curious about you because it was a number of months ago that your channel was brought to my attention, and it was Cullen. Cullen's our video editor, and
Yeah.
he said, "Hey Dave, check out this," and it was your Fiverr video where you were comparing models,
Yeah.
which went crazy, crazy, crazy viral. More, I have to say, more than any other wargaming related video that I had ever seen in our industry. Had this video
Yeah.
gone viral, it was nuts. And this, how many views on this video now? It's got to be like close.
Oh, it's I think it's like 30,000 from cracking 2 million.
Okay, so you're just under 2 million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
which is nuts. That's insane.
insane, yeah. When I released the video, I think I had 30,000 subscribers. So
Okay.
definitely gave me a lot of new viewers and a bigger audience, which was really cool.
Yeah. It was just fantastic. And when I saw it, I'm like, what? What is this? This is so cool.
Yeah,
Because, like, first off, anything like that happens in our industry gets me very excited because
yeah,
it's like, okay, good. That means that YouTube is recognizing our hobby as something that can go big and explode, right? So that makes me
yeah.
excited. And
And it
also,
seems that people from outside of the hobby are enjoying the content as well. So that's positive.
yeah, absolutely. And I have to ask, are you, because the style of your videos is,
Mhm.
it feels as though when I'm watching a YouTuber who is interested in miniature wargaming as opposed to the opposite.
Yeah.
As opposed to I'm a miniature wargamer and I want to make YouTube videos. For you, it
Yeah.
felt like you're a YouTuber and you just happen to be interested in miniature wargaming. Would you say that's accurate?
Uh, I would say it's a fair assessment, but it's not entirely correct. So I come from, I've run businesses in advertising, photography, and filmmaking for about 8 years
Okay.
before I started the YouTube channel.
Okay.
But I was definitely a wargamer, a nerd, way before I started the YouTube channel. And uh, my first video was about like unboxing a Warhammer box. My second video was about making bases for those figures. So uh, I would definitely say I'm more of a wargamer or a painter, maybe.
Yep.
And then YouTube is sort of my outlet to get the stuff out.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
So in terms of like the technical background, you have that many years experience with that, with marketing and with digital media.
Yeah, it's especially with like the production side because I have a bit of an education in art direction and in obviously I produced videos and photography for many years, both as a hobby and professionally. So
Right.
yeah,
So okay, so if folks are watching right now, if just leave a comment and let us know if you've seen this video that we referenced before. This Fiverr video, the Squidmar Fiverr video where you're holding up these minis and you said I got a miniature painted on Fiverr, and this is what I got. Something like that. It was the title was something like that.
Yeah, I think I asked painters on Fiverr to, the artist on Fiverr to paint my miniatures.
Okay,
What's the name? Yeah.
that's it. Uh, and it looks as though it yeah, I'm looking at the comments and like, yep, yep. Uh,
Yeah.
Majority is yes. No, but I
Yeah.
will be checking it out. Okay, that's 1 in 80. So a lot of people have
That's
seen
about
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the one that most people. It's the first video for a lot of people, or it's the one if people watch the video that YouTube recommends them, so people end up watching it most
Yeah.
of the times.
Right. And so, what do you think? What do you think was the reason for the viral nature of that video?
Oh, I think like YouTube is such a it's such a beast of its own, and to learn how the algorithm works and when YouTube recommends videos and why it does it, there's so much behind it. But there's like two main factors to it. One is if people clicks the video, and if the title and thumbnail is decent, people are gonna click the video. And the second one is if they watch the video, and it's got like a good flow where we start off by checking out Fiverr and seeing what people are out there, and then we reach out to them, and then we get the result, and the result is spread out over so long time because there was, I think, 6 people who painted for it. So it was like 7-8 minutes where people get to discover newly painted miniatures. So
Right.
it just hit those two like big things that YouTube likes: having people watch for a long time and having people click the title. So that's that. I guess that's the two main things. And the third one is I had my newborn baby for like a second because she woke up and when I was recording, so I just brought her into the video, and people went nuts in the comments and liked the video because of that. So it's a good one.
Oh man, like babies and puppies. Isn't that like that's like the card, right? That you use, uh, the cute
Yeah,
factor. So okay, it's so interesting because there's so many videos being created all the time, and obviously we, as content creators, everyone wants their stuff to be seen, right? So when that
yeah,
happens, it's exciting. Everyone wants to know how. Everyone wants to know why. And like what
yeah,
was
yeah,
different about that video? Everyone wants to copy that. Everyone wants to like do something kind of recreate it, but it just because there's that X factor of the stars aligning almost of how that video
yeah.
went
But that's the
viral.
thing. Like, you can try to copy it. You can try to make the same video or a similar one, or try to make it as good. But the next time, it's enough if like 2% less people click the video when they go on YouTube, and YouTube is not going to recommend it. It's just so weird, but
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
What we love and hate about making videos on YouTube, I guess.
So for your, I had a bunch of questions that I didn't ask you before we went live on purpose because I wanted to just kind of, I didn't want to have to ask you twice, right? And so one of those is Squidmar, is your YouTube channel like your business, which you can support Squidmar, by the way. I've included links to his Patreon and his YouTube channel. You can subscribe and support him there. Is that your full-time thing? Is that your full-time gig right now?
Yeah, it's been pretty much. I mean, so as I mentioned, I used to run my business before for like 7-8 years before I even started the channel, and with that, like when I started the channel, I was just so tired of chasing clients and working in the ad industry with people who just wants to save money and make money from what you do. So I quite early on decided to like take some of the savings I had in my company and just focus on making videos. And I think in January a year ago was like the first time when I felt like I'm finally making my own salary and feel confident enough to like just never accept another client in what I used to do. So that's kind of the journey of becoming a full-time, even though I did like half a year full-time before I started making a full salary.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Congratulations for being able to do that in our industry.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens, there should be celebration.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to pinch myself to see if it's real, because it's like waking up every day. And so the last week I've been painting Tau and recording that, and I get paid to do that. So I'm I'll take it.
You know, for all things, with the exception of what you just said, uh, I would be glad to be paid to do it. For that in particular, you couldn't pay me enough to paint Tau, but
I'm having fun.
well, that's good. That's the most important thing, right? Having fun. I mean, obviously, being able to be paid for what you do and have fun is that's just the dream come true. So fantastic. So what's your content schedule like? Do you post a video a week? Do you do it as you finish them? Is there a schedule? Is there not a schedule?
So my schedule for myself have always been Wednesdays, but it's tough sometimes because I've recently hired an editor to help me a few days a week, which has been incredible. But before that, it's sometimes you just can't finish it in time for publishing, so I put it up on Thursdays or Fridays, whatever. But it's been at least a video a week. Some weeks it's been 2 videos. So yeah, I think I did 65 or 70 videos something last year.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So a little over 1 a week there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with someone asked me this question and they wanted to know the answer to it, which I'm curious about as well, because you speak multiple languages, right?
Yeah, 2 at least.
2. And English is not your first language?
No. Far from it. I learned English in school from when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
But since it's like the language of the world, I've learned it through the years, and yeah.
Have you found that to be a challenge with your YouTube channel and creating content?
Yeah, especially in the beginning, I think it was really tough because I wouldn't be used to speaking it every day, so I would stutter and I would fail sentences. So I would have cuts like every 10 seconds or even more. Sometimes it could be like every 2 words. I would cut it because I would stop and think, and my brain wouldn't think the words in the right language. So I would think it in Swedish and then say it in English. So there was quite a bit of delay in the beginning. I feel like at least the last maybe 8-9 months, it's been a lot easier because I get more comfortable in front of the camera and speaking English on a regular basis. So yeah, it's become a lot easier. But just things like misspelling a title or using the wrong words for a sentence or things like that. It can mess it up a bit, but
yeah. So
people are always nice to point it out if I do something wrong.
This is very true. This is very, very true. So your videos, you're focus a lot on the hobby aspect, where you're painting minis. How often do you get to play?
Right now, it's almost never. Luckily, as I said, my editor, he plays as well. So we had a few like quick Warhammer Underworlds launch games, but it's been a bit too much work with the channel. So it's been like recording in the day and then maybe answering emails and editing in the evening. So I haven't really had time to play a lot since I started the channel, but a little bit, once every 3rd month, 4th month, maybe.
Yeah. So what would you say is your top few factions?
I've actually never played 40k. I'm an Age of Sigmar guy. So right now I've got the first army I built was Sylvaneth, so I built that and got quite a bit of models for an army, and then I have both Iron Jaws. Yeah, I have the Gloomspite Gits. I have Beastclaw Raiders, Siege. Yeah, it's Tomb Kings. I have Wood Elves and things of the old as well, but those are kind of the armies I'm painting right now and collecting at least.
So a lot. So that sounds like a lot there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
More than I care to admit.
Pile of Shame is big.
Oh yeah, it's getting in the thousands right now. So
thousands of minis or dollars or both probably.
Oh yeah, both definitely. I have a lot of space orcs too. I started collecting the 90s old metal ones from Rogue Trader era.
Yeah.
So I probably have at least 250 of those as well. So
Okay.
It's adding up.
So, what determines the videos that you make?
Um, like for me, it's always been about having fun. If I'm not having fun, it's a pain in the ass to record because, like, recording a painting video, it's at least 2 days of like 8 hours recording, prepping, sometimes even more. And if you do then edit for 3, 4 working days, and you're doing something that you're not enjoying, yeah, you're gonna burn out so fast. So
Yeah.
for me, it's always about like, am I having fun? If yes, then move on with the idea. And then after that is, I guess, can I make an interesting video? Can I make the video, uh, fun for a long time, or is it just something that's interesting for 10 people for 10 minutes, and then it's nothing? So uh, that's sort of the secondary thing. Like, can I make it interesting for more people and for a long time? And is the video going to be interesting from start to finish, etc.?
Right. I've also noticed that your videos have you have this style, which there's a number of wargaming YouTubers that have this similar style where it's storytelling miniature painting. It's not just, oh, here's how you paint this. Here's step one. Here's step two. It's not that. It's you're telling a
Yeah,
story, and from the viewer perspective is you're following the story of what you're laying out, and it's
yeah,
it's interesting. So what
yeah.
what
And
what was the thought
uh,
behind that?
so in the beginning, I was recording a few videos where it was more like step by step recording. But I feel like, at least for me personally, when I watch a video, like I would tune out so fast if it was a step by step painting tutorial. I feel like once you watched like 1 or 2 videos from a painter, that's a step by step. You know their techniques, you know what they're gonna do. You can kind of expect what's gonna happen next, and it's not very interesting to watch that video. Like, at least for myself, I would watch 1 or 2 videos from a YouTuber, and then I zone out. So um, I always want to make something that people want to come back for. I want to show them who I am. I want to show them why I'm doing things, what I'm thinking when I'm doing it. Um, like my orc painting videos with this Rogue Trader orcs was more about sort of telling my story, why I found this love again for the old space orc models, and uh, I think it just makes for more interesting content.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely it does. And I think that's got. Would you say that's also part of your marketing background as well?
Uh, Maybe. I mean, it's. I guess everything you learn through your life comes together to what you're doing right now. So I guess it does. I think it's about storytelling too. I wouldn't say I'm the best storyteller, but I like at least doing something more than just step by step color book painting.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I was talking a little bit to Duncan Rhodes last week about
Yeah.
the concept of the best, and and how because like Duncan, everyone knows Duncan,
Hmm.
and a lot of people, oh, Duncan's the best, and he was saying that he doesn't think he's the best. He just thinks he does what he does, and it's just
Yeah.
normal, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
that rings true. And there's no other Squidmar. There's one Squidmar.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with everything, it comes down to as well, like, do you like the person you're watching? Otherwise, you're not going to click the next video.
Right.
So, so at least for me, like, that's why I watch the channels I watch, is because I like watching guy from Midwinter Minis paint Warhammer, even though I don't like maybe necessarily his painting style, because he's doing uh, more like what do you call it, like base layers and washing and highlighting,
Right.
and I am more into sort of like the painting with volumes but I still watch every video because I like him as a person. I just like listening to him while he's talking and hearing his stories. And um I watch a lot of like your videos was when I started playing. Like, I watched almost every video, and it's not because I was interested in that specific army. It was because I wanted to see if Matt could be beat in this game. So that's definitely plays a role in if people decide to watch more.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So I mean that's awesome. You found this. You found the niche, and it's there, and it's Squidmar. It's pretty
It's
awesome.
just
It's
yeah,
complete. Like it's not what we do, right? Like we do the battle reports, and we don't really focus on the hobby aspect. We did for a bit, for a number
yeah,
of years, mostly in the mini wargaming vault, but never a huge presence on YouTube when it comes to the just strict hobbying of wargaming, right?
yeah,
But it's always fun to watch. It's fun watching the different aspects of the hobby kind of collide. And so,
yeah, definitely.
so I asked you about gaming, and
Hmm.
I know where you stand when it comes to painting and hobbying.
Hmm.
What about lore? Are you into the lore much?
Uh, yes, I wish I was reading more, but time again, it's one of these things when you have kids and a business to run, and um, like I rarely have time. But I definitely, I think like Doug from Two Plus Tough, for example, do a lot of lore videos, and I tend to watch those. Just have him on in the background while he's talking about the stories of the games. I've listened to a few of the audiobooks as well, and just really enjoy, stepping out of this world and going into a second world, escaping this one, I guess.
Uh, how big is your team? Like you mentioned, an editor. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it? Because you're Squidmar,
that's
right? When I think of Squidmar, I
yeah,
think of you, and you mentioned an editor, so that's
yeah,
interesting. Uh,
yeah. That's the only other guy I have right now. He's helping me a few days a week to edit the videos.
That's awesome. Yeah. So again, congrats on that, man. Like
Yeah,
providing employment, especially in this world right now. Like that's great.
but it's scary. Like hiring someone to when you do something like this, like you expect it to be for a short while. You expect to get money for a little bit, and then you expect to never see any return again because it's such, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You can't really understand that you can get money from it. So to hire someone and take that risk of I have to make money from this, it's very scary. But I'm so thankful, for, as you mentioned, like Patreon and just people watching the videos, and there's a lot of brands that sponsor the channels as well. So
By the
that's
way,
really cool.
for those who are watching right now, who have just jumped on recently, there are links to Squidmar's Patreon and YouTube channel in this post that you're watching right now. And even if you're watching afterwards, not live, there are links provided in this post. So you can, number one way to support him is Patreon, and then YouTube, subscribe to his YouTube channel. His links are there. And you'll see stuff that you will like in life. That's all I got to say. Entertaining content. And here's the crazy part, right? Even if you're not into miniature painting, you can watch your video and still be entertained by it, and that's the cool part about it. And
I hope so.
I, that's why I watched the video to begin with, the Fiverr video. I'm like, what's this guy doing? What's this Fiverr comparison? What's going on? Like that, there was like this curiosity, and I just wanted to see it. So I think
Yeah.
there's something else there. There's something else that you're tapping into, which is it's definitely that storytelling aspect of the YouTube video creation, which I love.
And hopefully it gets a lot of new people into to the hobby. It's really hard to know how many people came into the hobby thanks to my videos, but I always find it so like fascinating when you get a comment or like a message from someone who says like, yeah, I started with Warhammer thanks to you, or I started painting thanks to you. So uh, that's a very rewarding aspect of doing what we do.
So here's a question from Krill in 1985. What's your favorite model you've painted and favorite army other than the Rogue Trader Orcs?
Favorite model I painted. I would say one of my favorites lately is the spider I did in December. I think from the Gloomspite Kids army. Had a lot of fun painting that.
Uh, Here's another comment from Dr. Pandeteka. The Fiverr video has been one of my faves, and I found a great sculptor due to this. I don't know of Fiverr before.
Yeah, I did a series where I did some miniatures from. So I asked my viewers what type of miniatures they wanted to have, and then we did illustrations on Fiverr, thing on Fiverr, and then we had them printed. So it was really cool to have like the whole process of making a miniature only using Fiverr.
So Lorkuni says, Squidmar, you're an amazing artist. I got the bravery to paint and ruin my models thanks to your videos. Keep up the amazing work.
Thanks, man.
Smokestack Red says, Luton got me into 40K, but Squidmar got me into painting. Thanks for the great videos.
Yeah, I'm sorry I got you into buying more minis, spending more money.
So I got into, here's Perseus 388 says, I got into playing Warhammer thanks to MWG, and Squidmar helped me learn to paint along with others. Thank you both.
Thank you for watching, I guess.
Okay, so No Time to Game Official says, when are you releasing the bust of your face for us all to paint?
I gotta do that sometime. I'm gonna find a sculptor who can do like a really detailed one. Maybe we can see if we have one in the chat right now. Hit me up. We'll make it available for people to paint.
If you have any comments or questions or things you'd like to say to Squidmar right now, just leave it in the comments, leave it in the chat, and I'll do my best to relay that to him. There's going to be a number, so I may not get to your comment, but just leave it anyway. And if you really want it to stick out, there is always the encouragement incentive to super chat it. You could always do that. Complete transparency, any super chat proceed will go direct to the channel Mini Wargaming if you do that. Who would win in a fight, Squidmar or Duncan? Says Matt Fritton.
I think I weigh probably twice as much as Duncan, so I don't know. I don't think it's a fair fight.
Who would win in a painting fight?
Oh, that's a good one. I think he's more of like an army painter, and I think I paint more single figures. So that's he would win in the army painting, and maybe I would win in the single model.
Yeah. It's such a hard thing. Like, how do you like? Okay, here.
And the thing, I think the thing with art is like you can't really say that someone is better. I mean, someone can technically be better, but then you have the whole creative aspect as well. Like, who's the most creative person? Like, I don't know.
How do you measure that? I think that's a
no.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. As a fun question though, because it's always fun to see collaborations and competitions and things like that. Because I've seen some of your collaborative videos that you've made with other wargaming YouTubers, and those are fun to watch too. And I think one was like you guys were just like critiquing models. I think that was one that I watched with you and Miniac, and there was another YouTuber as well.
Oh yeah, we found like a really old catalog from like 1989, the Golden Demon catalog from 30 years ago.
Yeah,
that was amazing. So many cool artworks. Yeah.
Do you So Trovarian. You've heard of him?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Chris.
Have you collaborated with him?
No, I haven't. I know we have talked about it since pretty much when I started my channel. Like, he was way bigger than me in terms of both viewers and subscribers, and obviously he's more he's got so many golden demons, but we just never got to it. And obviously then Corona hit, and yeah, and I guess that's where we're at right now. But I would definitely love to do something with him. I feel like just collaboration in general, more once we start getting vaccines and stuff, so we can start move around. I want to travel to people and paint with them and record it.
So Mad Chef asked a question for both. What model that doesn't exist would you really like to see /paint?
This is I don't know how far I can go with this, because I've thought about these things myself, and I've started working on more, because we've obviously just like finished the Kickstarter we did last year, and we're fulfilling that, like shipping out the shipments. So I've started like thinking of new ideas and miniatures that I want to have and that doesn't exist. So hopefully I can like tell more about that in a few months. Uh, but yeah, I'm just a fantasy guy. I just love painting anything fantasy. It's up my alley.
So just anything fantasy.
Pretty much like elves, barbarians, demons, goblins, orcs,
Yeah.
anything.
If I had to choose a new model to paint and see exist, it would be a demon Primarch Angron. That's what it would be.
Oh, if we're like specifically talking about Warhammer, I would love to have Orion. Because when I was a kid, I think I turned like 13. I got the first Orion model in metal, and I think I repainted that one 3-4 times, and see a new sculpt of that one, a really good one, similar to like what they did with Ariel and Alariel. Yeah, I think that would be a dream.
I think Gabriel Seth too. A new Gabriel Blood Angels or Flesh Tearers Gabriel Seth model would be super cool. Would you ever paint Blood Bowl?
Yeah, I get this question a lot. I think Blood Bowl has amazing miniatures. I think the Wood Elf team and the Orc team and like the Trolls, the Goblins, like some of Games Workshop / Forge World's best figures. But I've never played it. I don't have any figures, so I've never painted it in a video.
Here's a question from Gazi Mof. Have you thought about holding painting classes, maybe touring a few stores in Europe when pandemic is over?
Yeah, definitely. Gasimov is he's actually a patron, so I know this guy. But yeah, I would really love to do that. Just come out and meet people more. Like if go to Warhammer Fest and like visit Golden Demon and maybe do some stuff in UK. Maybe go down to Germany, travel down to Stockholm. I'm very remote, so going anywhere is far. But
okay, so where you are
travel and meet people.
Where you are located it's far. It's off the beaten path.
Yeah, it's like 600 kilometers north of Stockholm. So it's a bit from everywhere.
It's funny because in my ignorant knowledge of like placement of things, in my mind, Sweden, which is where you're located, it's just Sweden in general is just far away from everything, and then you're in
quite true.
you're in a place in Sweden that's far away from everything. So it's like
and we're like a really tall country. So even if you come up to me, you can drive for another 24 hours until you get to the top of Sweden. So there's even more remote places.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a question from Alex Janeway. Question for Squidmar. What have you concluded Fiverr is good for?
Oh, that's a good question. I found some really, really cool artists on Fiverr. But Fiverr is this sort of platform that's, I think it's a good stepping stone for people who want to learn. So if you want to become a better commission painter, like you can start on Fiverr. You probably won't make a lot of money, but you'll get new clients and you'll get like a few good jobs. And same thing goes for like illustrators. But pretty much everyone I've used on Fiverr that I've really enjoyed working with, I've made like a professional connection with outside of Fiverr, so I can pay them a more reasonable fee for the next job.
Right. So Fiverr is a good place to meet new artists. Yeah. That's what. Would you recommend that?
Yeah. I mean, but it's hit and miss. Like I've through the years now, I've probably commissioned 30 people on Fiverr, and I think maybe 4 or 5 of them I've done more things with after. So it's always a gamble, but everything I've gotten have been decent or good, but only select have been like really good. So I've never gotten anything really bad.
Yeah,
so that's good, I guess. And the prices are unreasonably low, which means that the people who offer the service is not getting paid enough. So that's a bit sad. But
so Lorkany asks, "What's your most frustrating Fiverr experience?"
Oh, I've had a few. One of the sculptors, I'm not gonna say who it was, who was doing like the busts. I had some changes that needed to be done because it just didn't live up to the quality, and the person just said, "I'm gonna remove you as a client. I'm not gonna deliver this. I'm gonna take the loss on the work I've put in." Even though I really liked the piece, I just needed like one small thing changed.
Ah,
So it took me like
that's painful.
5, 6 emails back and forth, like panicked, like, I really like this piece. I want to have it. Please don't leave me. But
Oh wow.
I mean, it ended up good because I got the mini, and yeah,
Oh wow. Uh, is
I was panicked for a few days.
okay. So, what is your best painted mini? Says Fire Slayer 999.
um, I think I painted like a orc mega boss. That's the one that I've won most prizes with. I won like some best in shows. We have a Swedish competition called Golden Goblin, which I had first place in, and I got into the top 100 of the, what is it called, the Slayer Sword. No, the one they did with like the online competition for Games Workshop. They had one like a year ago.
Hmm.
Not the Slayer Sword, something else. I can't remember. So that one is the one that I've had most like wins with. But I think like I have a lot of pieces that I like. Some of the busts that I painted for the Kickstarter, I really enjoy what I did with those.
Have you got super secret plans for another Kickstarter?
Not super secret, but I definitely have plans, especially for more like miniatures that I want to see. So I'm talking with some of my all-time favorite sculptors to have them make some really cool figures. So I'm really excited about that. But it's probably years or at
Lost your
least half a year.
lost your
Yeah,
camera
let me
there
see
for
if
a
I
sec.
can make it work.
All right, so I'll ask you a question in the meantime.
Yeah.
If the old world launch cool minis, would you buy them and show us how to paint them? It says Miniland.
If the old world, sorry, can you repeat? I
So
was doing two things at the
if the
same time.
old world were to launch cool minis, would you buy them?
Yeah, like definitely. There's many things I like and about the old world. So, yeah, especially Wood Elves, Tomb Kings.
Uh, okay. So the old world has old world epic scale. Would you do that?
Uh Epic scale. I've never painted epic scale, so I don't know. It's probably not easy to paint like and make it look good. Probably not as enjoyable. So
Right. Uh, okay, so Will Paints asks, how do I become handsome enough for YouTube?
you should ask your mom to meet meet another man. I don't know, but I know Will. He's a handsome guy.
Okay.
He's good enough for YouTube.
Is that another patron?
No, he's a semi-famous Instagram painter. Very good painter.
Hmm.
He's yeah,
Just needs to make the leap to
one
YouTube.
of the great. So
Uh,
I think he's just making fun.
okay, so Asteroides says, "What walk alone, make a strong army, and you will find somebody to fight with." Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
sounds good.
yeah. Do you play in any Age of Sigmar tournaments? Obviously not
Uh,
now, but pre-Corona.
yeah, no, yeah. It's been like a year and a half since I did, but I definitely have played Sylvaneth when they were quite bad, but I ended up I think fourth place in one and 15 in the other. So I was really happy about that.
Do you have you got any upcoming challenges?
Was that a viewer question,
That's
or
another viewer question.
in terms of what? Like a video, a challenge video, or
The best plague
just
marine.
challenge
That's the name of the YouTuber. Yeah, that's what he asked. Do you have any upcoming challenges?
for videos? Or
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I'm painting Tau. It's like $2,500 worth of Tau for a video.
Okay, the way you said it was, I'm painting Tau. Just the way you said it was like, all right.
Yeah, I was looking at the painted boxes here. I'm like halfway. I'm not even halfway through, and I've spent 5 days painting, like 8 hours for 5 days.
Oh wow.
So that's a challenge, I can tell you that. But I'm really, really excited about that because I'm giving it away to someone who deserves it. So that's yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Just giving it away.
Yeah,
That's
that's charity.
that is a charitable thing to give away an army. I agree. Okay, so here's a question from XTN. What is your biggest regret in YouTube career?
Biggest regret in YouTube career? My God, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really have any regrets. Like there's things that people comment on that you say, like you can make a joke about like a politician, not even say what you think about it, and people can be like really offended by it.
Yeah.
So I've learned to, like, even if it's just jokes and fun, to leave that out. But it's not like a regret or anything. Yeah, maybe it is like one thing is to say yes to too many things. Like if you have many sponsors who wants you to paint miniatures and wants to send you stuff. I've had periods where I've thought I had it under control and then kind of lost the spark because you're doing things for someone else instead of for yourself. So that's I guess a regret, but it's very minor.
Yeah. Okay. Bill Tong Boob says, okay, I'll accept the army.
It's for you, definitely.
What's your least favorite AOS faction?
Least favorite? Oh,
Both.
I have a few, and the problem is, I think, not about like the armies, because I think almost every army have miniatures that I like, but it is when some armies come with new books and there are these obviously skewed army lists that's not fun for anyone to play against, and people still bring it to tournaments like it's gonna make them have fun just because they win, automatically. It's not. And I end up hating those armies for quite a bit longer, even after they've been fixed. So you have Flesh Eater Courts that had these broken like 4-dragon, 5-dragon lists, I can remember. And you had Daughters of Cain a few years back that was really bad. So usually that's why I hate an army, not because of something else.
Oh, okay. It's just so it really has to do with the type of player playing that army.
Yeah, I guess, like, especially when I was part of like the gaming community, because I've always been this person who, like, I'm quite a heavy gamer. Like, I like winning. I'm decently strategic. I'm not a wonder child by any means, quite far from it, but I like playing like a hard game and give my opponent a hard time. But I always do it with like a mediocre or semi-poor army. Just like trying to figure out what's going to work and how to beat people with that. And some people are just win at all, costs. So it's whether it's semi-cheating or saying a rule is different than it is, or it is just, buying the new army exactly when it comes out before they have time to do the FAQs or the erratas. And I just, like, that type of player is just, it's not fun to play with. It's not fun for anyone. Even the people who play and win, like, you can see that they're not really proud of their win. So that's I don't know. It's not for me. I like to have a fair shot at things and giving people a fair shot. And and win because I played better rather than I played something obviously broken.
Right. Yeah. No,
I'm spreading the salt there.
I'm with you there, man. Like, yeah, when it comes to playing against stuff like that, I remember one time I played against it was in AOS. I was playing against a skeleton
Yep.
army,
Yeah.
and it was like, and I was new at, I mean, still new. I don't really play AOS too much, right? But when I was playing, I was learning the game, and he had like 40 skeletons in his one unit, and I was trying so hard, and I'm like, oh, good, finally, I took out this unit of 40, and then he brings them all back. But the thing is, he didn't tell me, right? It was a gotcha moment.
Yeah.
And it was like, are you serious? I spent the whole game killing these guys. And now they're all back. And so I think that was worse than the thing itself. Because the thing itself is like, if I knew beforehand, it's like, okay, well then I'll focus on non-skeleton units. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe just bog them up with something you don't care about and not care about killing them. But yeah, definitely, I totally agree. And but I guess that's good with your channel, because your channel is not about like the heavy gaming. It's more about the having fun aspect about the games. So
100%, that's what it is. If you watch mini wargaming for heavy gaming, you won't get heavy content. It's it's not that. It's not competitive in nature. It's certainly about the casual fun aspect of it, which is I have found that it's well, in our viewership, I can't say as a whole, the wargaming industry and hobbyists as a whole, but for our viewership, it's mostly, that's what it is. It's mostly people who play and who have fun with the game, mostly play for fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, and that's for me, like that's what I enjoy watching. And always when I build army lists, I take whatever I think looks the best, and then I build the army around that. So
yeah.
With my spider, or my Gloom Spite Gates, I have 3 giant spiders, and they're terrible. But I'm still gonna build my army around that because that's what looks best. So.
Yeah, you just like the look of it, right? I did that the other day with my Blood Angel list. I just said, "Ooh, this is newly painted. I will bring this.
Mm-hmm.
I will bring these ATVs. Okay, let's bring in some aggressors. Okay, and I just kind of like I was picking and choosing, right? And I was playing against a Necron list, which was a tough Necron list, and it was scary to look at. And I just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna pick and choose some nicely colored things and put them together. That was literally my strategy for building the army.
Yeah, and I think I love playing with friends. That's the most fun. Like any day I'd pick a game with my friend over going on a tournament playing with someone I don't know. So with that, you can bring any army. You can agree beforehand, like, I want you to try to stomp me with your best list. I'm gonna play with these really crappy miniatures, and it's fine. You're still gonna have a good time because you're doing it with someone you like hanging out with.
So we're gonna switch gears a little bit right now and go to a chaos comment bomb. And this is a compliment of Squidmar. Squidmar has recommended this YouTube video. Now, if you're watching this and you have not participated in a chaos comment bomb in the past, this is how you participate. I'm going to post a link in the chat, and you leave a comment on this video. And it could be something like, Dave and Squidmar say hi from the Shrine of Chaos. Or it could be, make more awesome terrain videos. Or it could be, make some chaos terrain. Just as long as this guy knows that he's been chaos comment bombed, that's really the most important thing. So I'm going to post it a bunch of times so it's unmistakable where the link is, and I'm going to just go to the YouTube video here, and I like to go there and kind of refresh the comments just to see. So this particular video that we're chaos comment bombing, which is his latest video, he has a good number of comments already on it. This is Eric's Hobby Workshop, for those who have not heard of him before. It's a fantastic YouTube channel. I've seen his stuff in the past. There was one specific video of his that caught my eye, and there was this Dreadnought crafting the ultimate desert terrain, full battlefield tutorial for 40k, Necromunda Age Sigmar. It was Eric's Hobby Workshop video, and it has this like, it's a picture of a Blood Angels Dreadnought. I think it's Blood Angels, and it was painted red. And it's
Yeah.
the background is like this really cool kind of deserty mesa type of
Yeah.
rocky desert
Martian Earth. I don't know.
Martian Earth
Maybe
kind
a
of
bit more
rocks
sandy.
with
Yeah.
like sand on the bottom and like a blue sky behind that.
Mhm.
And it looked real from the thumbnail. Like it looked like it was in a model piece.
A render. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it looked like an animation. That's how good the picture looked. And so I'm like, oh, I want to see this. And then his tutorial style is entertaining. Uh,
Yeah, and like every build he does is really good. So I really recommend people to give at least a few videos a look because like he's definitely worth it.
and it's funny because this made me watch a few of his videos, and I noticed that his style, he keeps in his mistakes, which make his
Yeah,
videos better. It's like I tried this,
yeah,
it
definitely.
didn't work, so don't do that. And he shows it. I'm like, that's great. It makes it so much more real, right?
And it's very good at doing videos about like using stuff you have at home. So it could be like toilet paper rolls. It could be stuff from like your cereal box. And like expanding what's it called, XPS foam. So it's like cheap materials that pretty much anyone can do, as long as you have like a hot glue gun, you're good to go. So it's a very, very good channel if you want to just get started and try things out and experiment without investing like hundreds of dollars in tools.
Right. Yeah. So that's it. That's the Chaos Comment Bomb. And
Hmm.
any last questions you have here for Squidmar? Uh,
I'm gonna leave some comment on Eric's channel too.
Actually, you know what? I haven't even left a comment either, so I'll do that too. I mean, it makes more sense if we're also part of the Chaos Comment Bot, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Let's see. The eye.
The first time it happened to me, I was so surprised because I had no idea. I thought it was like a spam thing, like someone from Reddit or something just wanted to mess with me.
But you saw that all the comments were unique from unique viewers?
Yeah, but robots or whatever. But then I asked a friend of mine, and he was like, "Yeah, I've had it too. It's Dave from Mini. Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Shrine of Chaos, yeah, that
Who
computes."
who was that? Who was the friend that said that?
Oh, I can't remember who it was. If it was, because like as a YouTuber, you talk to other YouTubers all the time. Could have been Miniac. Could have been. I don't know if it was Miscast Terrain or Black Magic Craft or someone.
Okay.
Someone.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few in there that I've Chaos Comment Bombed. I should say that we have, because it is not possible without the viewers. So.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Okay. So here's a question from Will Paints. Have you ever painted something, got halfway, and hated the entire experience, and just stuck it out on the shelf of shame forever?
Hated. No, I've done some videos where I like using paints from IKEA. That was like you think it's a good idea, but it's not a good idea to paint with paints from IKEA. So that's like, it's fun the first 5 minutes, and then you realize that, okay, I have 16 more hours of this before my miniature has any paint on it. So I've regretted videos like that. But yeah, other than that, it's been like, I painted something in a color scheme for an army and I wasn't happy, so it's been like 6 months before I revisited and retry to do the color scheme. But no big regrets.
Here's a question from the Best Plague Marine again. Favorite Chaos Legion?
Oh, the horned rat. I don't know. I have a scene charmy, so maybe I have to say that. But
Unless he changes your mind.
I'm ashamed to be here because I'm not a big chaos guy. So you're probably gonna block me after this interview and just never talk to me again.
Hey, you did mention Zinch, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, chaos enough.
So, do you have tips for growing a paint supply collection?
Oh, do you need it? Really? I don't know. I have way too many paints, and I use maybe 20 of them on a daily basis, and I have 80 that I use like once a year. So
Yeah.
I don't really know if you need more paints, but
You know what? That's actually in and of itself good advice. It's like find 20 that you use a
yeah.
lot. That's good advice.
Mhm.
Do you mix paints?
I'm not as dumb as I look. Sometimes I say smart things too.
Do people say that? No.
No.
The self-deprecation. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so
So Slanesh, maybe?
yeah, no kidding. All right, so this is a question from that one random broski. Hi, I'm 15 and I'm trying to find people that are also into the hobby. Do you have any advice?
For me, it was hang out in the local gaming store. I think that's like the biggest thing. I don't know if there's any good like forums for younger Warhammer players. Maybe there should be like a group on Facebook, like young Warhammer players or something. So maybe you should start one and invite people.
Yeah. Where was another one? Here was another good question for you. Favorite? Nope. Okay, here it is. From Mad Chef. Do you have a YouTuber hero?
Oh, wow. I mean, in terms of like YouTube business, like looking at Mr. Beast and see what he does,
Mm-hmm.
that's some
Nuts.
insane stuff.
Insane.
Both like the philanthropy stuff and the way that he's been able to build a business. Like he's got like I don't know 60 employees or something, just
Mm.
helping him make these really awesome videos.
Mm-hmm.
But Jazza was one of these for me though, like a big one. He's like an art YouTuber, and I used to like watch all of his videos, comment on the videos, and turns out he was a Warhammer fan, and now we're friends. So
Cool.
so cool things that can happen.
Uh, it's funny you mentioned Mr. Beast because my kids watch Mr. Beast, and
Hmm.
the videos are interesting because it's like a game show. It's like a YouTube game show almost, right? That's what his episodes are,
Yeah,
and
many of them are.
many of them are like that, right? It's like, oh, hold this boat until you don't anymore. The last one wins it, like stuff like that, and
Yeah,
it's very interesting, and everything is very extreme. Everything is very uh,
yeah. It's always like giving away $100 billion.
yeah. So it's like in the thumbnails are always like, uh, I tip my Uber driver the car, and like when you see
Yeah,
stuff like that, it's like okay, what it's very spectacle. It's very
and the weird thing is that he's actually doing it.
is
Like that's
actually doing
what's
it. Yeah,
insane to me.
and I saw him in this podcast interview, and this guy he was talking to him, he was asking him, he's like, how does that work for tax purposes? All this stuff that you're giving
Yeah,
away, and
yeah,
I remember Mr. Beast saying that he's got to pay the taxes on the stuff that he gives away,
yeah.
and he was like, but I don't really know about that. I'm just giving stuff away. I'm just like that stuff that my accountant has to take care of, which is nuts.
Yeah, I think he's paid a lot of money in taxes for giving away stuff.
Yeah. Uh, well, last plug for your stuff. If you guys are watching this right now, you can support Squidmar on Patreon. You could also subscribe to his YouTube channel and check out his videos. Check out the Fiverr video if you have not seen it, which majority of people in the hobby have seen it, but some have not. A very small 1% have not seen it. So check out that video and check out all his content. Great stuff you create and contribute to the wargaming community. So thank you for that. And happy wargaming. Thanks for tuning into
Yeah.
the show. Any last words before we go?
Thanks for having me, and thanks to everyone who stuck around watching us talk about plastic war dollies.
War dollies. I'll have to remember
Yeah.
that. And see you guys next week, 1 p.m. Eastern
Yeah.
Time, Shrine of Chaos. Bye, guys.